What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? I still get goosebumps like a little child when I see Tua Tagovailoa in our uniform, bro. I'm sorry, man. Oh my god.
Goosebumps. Yes, sir.
How you
Man, I
doing
tell
tonight,
you.
bro?
Oh, bro. Outstanding, man. It's Victory Monday, baby. Fifth Nation.
Woo!
What's good? Stick your chest out today. All week. Stick your chest out. Talk crazy to these AFC East fans
Oh,
or anybody willing to listen. Let them know what time it is,
if you
baby.
know a Bills fan, let them know by the end of next week we're gonna be tied with them.
Yes, sir.
And if you
Man, I tell
know
you.
any team in the AFC East, give them that Booker T. Give them the five time, because we've won 5 in a row, baby.
Yes, sir. God damn, it feels good to be a Dolphins fan. I tell you, man. Victory Monday, 5 in a row. Let's make it 6, baby. Let's keep this train going. Keep building on this momentum, bro. Let's get it.
Oh man, you gave me a great little tidbit that I forgot to pull up that I'm gonna pull up because I don't know if you saw the news today, EM. Let's start with that because you said 6 in a row. We'll start with that first before we get into the review because we do have a couple things we want to go over to. A couple, let's call them maintenance items. Okay. And let's start off with what you just mentioned because you just brought something to my attention that I forgot to pull up, and I've now pulled it up, and let's put it on screen. What if I were to tell you, EM, that we might be facing Brett Ripon instead of Drew Lock next week because Drew Lock was dealing with an oblique abdomen muscle yesterday, I'm told. It's about performance, and Lock didn't have it, but he showed guts by trying to fight through physical discomfort. So he's clearly got something going on, an abdominal strain, a tear, something like that. And it is a real possibility. And this is something all Dolphin fans should monitor as we head into the week. Drew Lock might not even be starting for them. We might be dealing with Brett Ripon, sorry. And I mean, I don't even know what to say except, give me what I want. Let's go. We are going to destroy. If Brett Ripon comes out there, it's over. It's over.
Oh,
Chalk
easy.
it up.
That's
That's
easy
6
money
in a
right
row,
there.
baby. That's 6 in a row.
To quote the great Shaquille O'Neal, that's barbecue chicken, baby. Straight barbecue chicken.
You know what's funny?
That's easy money right there.
It might not only be 6 in a row, but
I had no idea.
We might also get 6 interceptions too.
I know, right? Yeah, I had no idea Locke was, he was dealing with something serious like that. I mean, I'm not laughing at him, the fact that he's hurt, but hey, this is the National Football League. This is the nature of business, so it's what it is. So yeah, man, that's if Lock. I'm not worried. Even if Drew Lock does play, even if he was 100%, if he was completely healthy, I mean, he's not keeping me up at night the night before. So
that whole team
but
is
the fact
like
that he's not playing,
underachieving.
Oh yeah. So I think they have significant injuries on the defensive side of the football as well, bro. So
and on the offensive side, no
yeah,
Cortland Sutton.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Bro, that's easy money, homie. Easy money. So, but from the Dolphins' perspective, the fact that their starting quarterback is not playing and they have all these other injuries, you still, that doesn't impact your preparation. You still need to maintain your high level of preparation and focus and everything that comes with it. So, we talked about this earlier. This potentially could have been a trap game. So, they just need to come out and prepare like they were. No matter who's at quarterback, the preparation needs to be in focus and it needs to be maintained. The level needs to be maintained. So.
And you talk about preparation and focus, bro. Here's one guy who had neither. Jordan Howard's finally been released by the Miami Dolphins. His 2-year deal in Miami didn't even make it to the end of year 1, as it says right here. And they released Howard on Monday. Coach Brian Flores announced it as a mutual parting. He said he had a lot of respect for him, respect for the way he worked, no ill will, just thought it was best for both parties.
I mean, wow. I mean, what took him so long? To be honest with you,
You know,
um, I definitely think this was coming. We all saw this coming a mile away. But I think the fact that you're seeing you were getting significant contributions from Salvin Ahmed and Patrick Laird looked pretty good on Sunday, and then we also have Miles Gaskins coming back and also Matt Breida.
and
The
DeAndre
writing's
Washington.
and DeAndre Washington. The writing's been on the wall for him. He's just not, you know, he's just not a fit here. You know what I mean? And I don't know how he is off the field in terms of the locker room or anything like that. But I haven't heard anything negative. But he's just not a fit. He had his chance. They brought him here, and he just hasn't fulfilled. He just haven't lived up to expectations. So
He
good
got
kudos to the dog.
he got
Go
that
ahead. I'm sorry.
he got that early ink on the bus ticket, bro.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So kudos to the Dolphins to not prolonging this issue. Cut bait, move on. You missed. Hey, you brought him in. You took a swing at him. You took a swing in free agency. You missed. No harm, no foul. Cut him, move on, and it's what it is. So yeah, but this is no surprise by any stretch.
Hmm. And I think like we said earlier, a couple weeks ago, the writing was pretty much on the wall when the Le'Veon Bell news was coming out, right? After he had already been a healthy scratch before that. But one man's bad day can always be another man's good day. And today it was for the homie Zach Seiler, as he was signed to a contract extension through the 2023 season. And we go all the way back to when me and you were on the other platform. A lot of the people, in the comments and on the panel didn't know who this guy was. Me and you were the only two guys really talking him up and talking about this guy. And now you see,
Absolutely.
he's played well, and now they've rewarded him with a contract extension. I think this is an absolutely great signing. I think it's well deserved. Obviously, the financial terms haven't been disclosed yet, but I guess I'm sure he's not breaking the bank. But he can finally move out of that mobile home, and I think this is one of the blue collar guys in our trenches that it's nice to have locked up for the next couple of years. And the great thing too is look at the time frame. It ends at the end of a lot of these guys on the end of their 4-year extension who don't have 2-year options from the draft. So I just want to get your thoughts on Zach Seiler and his contract.
Oh, you know how I feel about this player. The day we poached him, we signed him, and it was relatively kind of went unnoticed. By a lot of people in the Dolphins community. And when we poached it, we were able to get him off of the Baltimore Ravens practice squad. You and I immediately started texting, "Hey, bro, this kid, because we remember him during, we obviously researched his profile and his background, et cetera, and we felt like he would be an ideal scheme fit for this team. And man, since day one, this kid has done nothing but put his head down, get to work, and improved every single day. And he's I look at him, I look at his work ethic. Well, I'm hearing what his work ethic is, and he seems to be one of those foundational pieces that you want on your roster. And he's still a young player. I think there's upside there, and very extremely versatile, can play all positions on the defensive line. And his play has just gotten better and better every year, every single snap, every single day, every single year. So killer signing. Kudos and much respect goes to Chris Greer and Brian Flores to identify him, get him off the Baltimore Ravens, and continue, and accelerate his development, because he's now a significant contributor on this defensive line. And I'm loving it. I'm glad we talked about this actually probably about a month ago. Maybe not quite a month, but maybe about a month ago, we talked about this, that we needed to get out ahead and possibly lock him up to a team-friendly type of deal, because we projected him to, we felt like earlier in the year that his play would increase, his quality of play would increase. So I'm glad that it's another good signing, them getting out ahead, and the financial terms hadn't been released, but yeah, I don't think he broke the bank or anything like that. I'm sure it's a team friendly deal.
Mhm.
So, but love the player, love the work ethic. Um, he's just a fit here, bro. He just fits in, and glad to see he's going to be a Dolphin for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, because I mean, the one good thing about too is you can tell he came back at the end of last year, I believe it was, right? A couple games left. He came back, I'm pretty sure. Was it last year? He came back with a
What?
couple games left, right? Was it
Yeah,
last?
yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah,
He did.
yeah, last
Yeah,
year.
it was last year. Last year.
But you can already tell if you look at what he was doing at the end of last year to now, they've upped and increased his responsibilities because, not even just a zero tech. He's not
Mm-hmm.
even just pigeonholed to that right now, right? Like they will shift him around, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Right.
Three tech, whatever it takes, you know what I mean? And he's
Mm-hmm.
he's answered the
Yep.
call, bro. And I can see him being one of
Yes.
those
Yes.
unsung leaders in the locker room in a couple of years on the defensive side of the football. So I think
Mm-hmm.
he's again one of those guys where they've asked him to take on more responsibility and they've asked him to be versatile. He's stepped up, he's answered the call,
Mm-hmm.
and they've rewarded him. So, and I could see that as
Yeah.
being a Brian Flores influenced extension heavily for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love this kid, and I think Brian Flores and obviously our front office is high on him as well. And again, I think there's upside there. You know what I mean? And again, versatile player, foundational piece. I think so. Now you have him, Christian Wilkins, and the emergence of Raekwon Davis. Raekwon Davis. I'm sure we'll get to him at some point,
We
but
will. Oh, we
man,
will. Oh, we will.
woo.
Oh, we will.
So, but yeah, our defensive line, I think we need a little more depth. Hopefully, you know, Benito Jones can his development can somewhat be accelerated, and we can start getting significant contributions from him this year. But love it. But this definitely spells. I mean, for all you Devon Godshaw fans out there, the writing's on the wall for him as well. I truly believe there will be
Oh, it's
very
a
little
wrap.
interest in terms of signing him long term.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
wrap.
Zach Seiler extension was basically the wrap right there. Here's another little interesting
Mm-hmm.
tidbit, because we've been talking about Ted Karras's play as of late, especially yesterday with the multiple bad snaps, especially the one on that fumble. It was just on him. It was
Mm-hmm.
terrible. Anyone trying to blame Tua, I don't know what the hell you're watching. Um, Pat Elflin, who he was a center from the Vikings, and he was a starting center who they've released, was claimed today by the Jets. But an interesting tidbit is the Dolphins were one of multiple teams that put in claims. So I know there's been a lot of talk, especially between me and you privately, of with Dieter, would they invest in a high draft capital? Da, 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 da. That right there should tell people that A, they're willing. Not only do they identify it as a position of need, but B, they're willing to upgrade it as soon as possible. I just want to get your quick
Mm-hmm.
thoughts on that little tidbit there.
I mean, I love the approach. The fact that the Dolphins are proactive in terms of their pursuit of acquiring talent. So obviously, I don't think Ted Karras is a long term solution here. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm just glad. Again, I just have to give him credit because always, and I remember when Flores, when he first came, when he first was announced as our head coach, about what his philosophy is in terms of like looking for talent. And I just look at you know it seems like they're aligned, our front offices as well as our head coach are aligned in that constant pursuit of acquiring talent. And I mean, obviously Karras is not a long-term solution. I think the Dolphins at some point this offseason will look for a significant upgrade, whether that be them kind of, giving Michael Buter a legitimate opportunity to solidify that center position, or, making a draft investment. I don't know if it'll be a first round investment. Who knows? They might even dip into free agency again if the right player comes along. But yeah, this tells me that they definitely, they don't deem Ted Karras as a long term solution at that position. So that's what it is, man.
And brother, let's talk about it because everyone's going off about right now before we get into everything. The whole Herbert versus Tua thing has really continued to steamroll on as Charger fans and Dolphin fans over multiple platforms have been going at each other's necks. I personally think Tua played a better game yesterday. Like I said to you privately, I feel like with the bazooka he has, he should be able, to test us with tight windows, but he is who we said he was. He doesn't have the elite anticipation. He doesn't even have he doesn't even have really good anticipation or accuracy or ball placement. He's got the arm strength. He just doesn't have the arm talent to go along with it. Like I brought up how Jay Cutler, right? Jay Cutler had a bazooka, but he also had better ball placement and accuracy when he came out of Vanderbilt originally, right? With the Denver Broncos, then what Herbert has displayed, and you can tell Herbert just doesn't have the confidence. He doesn't see his first or second read. He's checking down because usually his third read was his check down. Whereas Tua, he can make those throws to the sidelines. He can spread the ball around. He's not afraid. No throw worries him. I mean, did you hear Tua post-game EM? He said he's surprised at how easy the game is for him right now. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah,
but here's the thing. People need to forget the context. Okay? People need to hear the context of it. He's saying that because of how tough it's been at practice for him and how tough Flores has been in practice for him. Same thing with what Belichick did with Brady. All the great defensive lines did it when they had a great quarterback. Because he was running the scout team against this great defense, it's easier because he's not seeing a secondary like we're seeing, like he saw as a scout team. So because people were kind of giving EM, before I let you get your thoughts, people were kind of giving Tua the work for, who does this kid think he is? He's saying that because, first of all, he's not blowing anyone off because they're asking. Me and EM have talked about this privately. Let's put it out publicly. Guys, if you look at what Tua's being asked to do right now, it's very similar to what Russell Wilson was asked to do with the Legion of Boom and with Marshawn Lynch. It's very similar to what Tom Brady was asked to do when he came in with Bill Belichick and that really good defense. It was the same thing too, as EM always loves to bring this guy up. Same thing as what Ben Roethlisberger when he was a rookie. Great defense, running game, manage the game, and don't turn the ball over. That's all they're asking of Tua. That's why you're not seeing Tua having to put up 400 yards because he's not having to play catch up, and they're not just saying, let's throw 30 or 40 times a game and go vertical all game. The other thing is, too, people have to remember, we're going more horizontal in this offense, whereas Herbert goes more vertical. So on days where they ask him to be more conservative and manage the game, the stats aren't going to be out of this realm because you don't need to ask him of that right now because of the way our defense is playing and because look at how Salvin Ahmed was running the football. You don't need to ask him to throw the ball 40 times. So I just want to say that people need to calm down because they were attacking Tua on that. But I know you heard that, EM, what he said. I want to get what your thoughts were about what Tua said today.
Well, we talked about this a couple weeks ago privately. I'm not sure if we did publicly on the stream, but privately, I felt that number one, a defensive-minded coach, and two, Flores' diverse approach in terms of schematics, personnel groups, et cetera, et cetera. I feel, this is just me, my personal opinion, about when I think that defensive-minded coaches, especially if they're diverse in their approach, tend to be, I think that will have a better influence on a young quarterback because they're giving the quarterback every answer to the test he's going to face on Sundays, and it will make it easier. That, in addition to the elite talent that he's facing 6 days a week, that can only help in his development.
And before you continue, throw in, because context is everything, his film sessions with Brian.
Absolutely, on Tuesday, exactly. Bill Belichick, Tuesdays, him and Tom Brady for 20 years. Brian Flores has brought that approach with Tua Tagovailoa. Same deal. And you're seeing the early dividends that is paying off. But I think ultimately we'll see the big ones at some point during this season and obviously next year and so on as Tua grows. But I was glad to hear that, bro. I was like, man, because that I felt that way all along about
And
relationship with these two.
And what else does it tell you, EM? Guess what? Without saying it, what's he telling everyone? The game's starting to slow down for him.
Slow down for him. Yep.
And when the game starts to slow down for you, and guys, let's put it into further context. Guys, Russell Wilson was not the MVP-esque best player in the world his first 3-4 years in the NFL because he didn't have to be because they had the defense. Once the Legion of Boom broke down, they were like, okay, Russell, it's on you now. And this is what I want to say to EM. This is what the advantage a guy like Tua Tagovailoa will have over a Justin Herbert and a Joe Burrow. Even if we don't get a Super Bowl out of the gate, but we get to the playoffs and we become a legitimate contender even heading into year 2, he's gonna understand the concept of winning early on. If he starts winning playoff games, guys, the thing about winning playoff games and learning to win playoff games, if you know how to win playoff games, the regular season is a breeze.
Absolutely.
Because the playoffs is where the money is made, and that's where the windows close even further. The pocket collapses even faster, and teams compete for you even harder than they would have if they would have seen you in the season. So all I'm saying is that's what those guys have in common. They learned how to win in the playoffs early, and look at what it turned into when Polamalu in that defense broke down. Roethlisberger could carry them. When that defense in New England had to go through transition because guys got old, Tom Brady could carry them. Now you see Russell Wilson, the Seattle Seahawks are a legitimate Super Bowl contender for the past 2 years, and they don't have a remnants of the Legion of Boom right now, except a couple linebackers.
Perfect. Ideal approach. And again, you're seeing from a responsibility standpoint, they're putting more onto his plate week to week. And he's passing with flying colors for the most part. So love this approach. And then if we win the division or we get into the playoffs, that experience.
We're gonna win the division.
Like you referenced, it's gonna be invaluable. You know what I mean? Invaluable to him. Oh yeah, absolutely.
If Byron stays healthy, even if there's snow, Josh Allen is not throwing for 400 yards against his defense. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. And you know what? I see us right now. It just feels like everything's clicking for us. Right now, it feels like they're clinging on to the lead for their dear life right now. They're just trying to keep us on their heels while we're like not only looking at catching them and passing them, but we're looking to become a big dog, man. I'm telling you, in the next, this team, I said Greer really impressed with if he can reload through the draft like how he did this year and add some luxury
I'm telling you, and we talked about this earlier. I fully anticipate Tua next year to take a Patrick Mahomes like Lamar Jackson type leap in his development next year. And I'm telling you, and I mean this, I'm saying this with a straight face. If Tua takes that significant leap, we could be potentially seeing a repeat of what we saw in Kansas City. AFC Championship game, legitimate contenders. You know what I mean? If he takes that, because really, to be honest with you, I have full confidence in this front office in terms of acquiring talent. They're going to acquire more big time talent. But again, the only thing we're lacking for the most part is a quarterback playing at an extremely high level. And if Tua, again, if he takes that leap, bro, it is not out of the realm of possibility. You can see us legitimately in the AFC Championship game and seriously contending for a Super Bowl because we have a championship caliber defense.
Bro, I predicted this to be a 7. Remember, I predicted this floor 7, ceiling 9 win team with Fitzpatrick. Never thought I'd be saying that this looks like it's an 11-12 win team. Yeah. More like 11, probably 10-11 win team with Tua Tagovailoa. Like, here's the real thing, bro. Tua Tagovailoa could legitimately go 7-3 or 8-2 in his first. I think he's gonna go. If you put a gun to my head and said, "Reason, what do you?" I think he's gonna go 8-2 in his first 10 starts. You and that's you got to give. There's going to be slip ups somewhere. So
Right,
no one's going to
right.
run. If he runs the table, he's rookie of the year. Now I already said it's no questions asked if we win the division. If he runs the table, I want MVP votes, bro. Okay, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like,
Oh my
bro, if he
God,
runs the table,
bro.
we still got the Bills
Oh.
in January in Buffalo. Las Vegas is playing good ball right now, like I said they would.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas
Mm-hmm.
City, right? We still got legitimate, like 3 legitimate hard, and then Belichick. How the hell did they beat the Ravens yesterday, bro?
Yeah, yeah. The Ravens, though, I think they're with Ronnie Stanley going down, and also the retirement of Marshall Yanda. I think that created a huge void on that offensive line. They're nowhere near.
Now we know why they wanted Robert Hunt, right?
Yep.
Can I say this too, though? This is what I thought about when I thought about that game, because I always love to throw out that Belichick's only lost twice against quarterbacks. I believe it's under the age of 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, if anyone can prepare their quarterback under the age of 25, it's Brian Flores, because he came from there. Absolutely. He knows what to expect, and Tua is smart enough where he can soak it all in. So, and I want to give you a quirky stat. Did you know? Okay, so Tua has 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in his first 3 starts, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's tied for the 3rd most passing TDs in a QB's first 3 starts without throwing an interception since 1950.
Wow. It's so, who are the other guys on that list?
No idea, bro.
Interesting.
That's
impressive.
Decent, huh?
Impressive. Oh yeah, absolutely. And he's just going to get better. He's just going to get better and better and better. Things are going to continue to slow down for him, and I could see Tua getting in a rhythm, bro, and man, going on that run, that him running the table. I mean, I might have my homer hat on right now, but when you look at the teams that's left on our schedule, though, I mean, Tua is, he's going to have breakdowns at some point. Every quarterback, let alone rookie quarterback, has them. I understand, but he's got support. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think everything, though, to be honest with you, reason in terms of our long-term success is going to be predicated on that run game. Yeah. If we can get the contribution that we got on Sunday, I'm telling you, man, this team is going to be dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. Nobody wants to play this team.
Should have been our first 100-yard rusher in 26 games, but here we are. Yes. And you know what's scary, too, about if we pass the Bills? Look at the point differential. We're a plus 69. The Bills are only currently plus 7. Yep. New England's minus 28, and the Jets are minus 147. Yeah. But, I mean, the Bills, that's what we have over them, too. That defense has allowed. And I agree with Damian Flores, especially if we win this division. He's got to be coach of the year, man.
Oh, absolutely. Well, if Mike Tomlin, they finish the regular season on the
but he got Ben Roethlisberger back. And I hear you. We did a total revamp with no preseason.
I hear you.
They're not going to go undefeated. The Steelers are not going to go undefeated, bro.
No. I mean, that's the only way I can see them not giving Flores the Coach of the Year award unless Mike Tomlin goes undefeated in the regular season, which he probably more than likely he won't. So, but I'm with you, bro. Yeah, he should be Coach of the Year, hands down.
All right, man. Let's get into it. I wanted to show before we get into the PFF stuff, bro. I wanted to show some next gen stuff for people who might be interested in this kind of stuff because there's some interesting little tidbits here. First of all, when you look at Tua this week, man. Let's put it down here to week 10. He led in a couple categories this week in next gen stats, and not like the ones like time to throw. Okay. So first of all, he led this week in aggressiveness. 32% of his throws were considered aggressive, and what that means is 32% of his attempts were to targets with a defender within a yard, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's that shows he's not afraid of those tight windows. Like I was telling you, I think
Mm-hmm.
Herbert is earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's showing you he don't
Right.
care, man. He'll
Yeah.
fit in there,
Yeah.
baby. And another thing too is, another little interesting stat here too is intended his average intended air yards. Tua
Mm-hmm.
Tagovailoa's 11.3 was the highest. Russell
Really?
Wilson was only the second highest, was second at 10.5. And then the third was 9.7. He was averaging 11.3.
That is interesting.
So, guys, attendant air yards per attempt basically means how many yards the ball traveled per attempt on average.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the highest. This is another thing too. Check this out, EM. You might think this is kind of a little kind of interesting little next gen stat tidbit. When we go over here to where is it? It is average. Do they have it here? Average air yards per completion. I don't know if they have it here. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. But if you look at average air yards per completion,
Mm-hmm.
Tua Tagovailoa in this past week, Tua Tagovailoa was second. He averaged 8.2 air yards per completion. So, I mean, you see, he has no problem pushing the ball a little bit. And here's another thing, just to throw you off, and this is not a next gen stat for anyone, but check this one out, EM. You might like it because this goes rookies right now because we only have a small sample size with Tua. So right now, Tua ranks 8th in passer rating in the NFL. That's the highest of every rookie. And he's 6th in time to throw in the whole NFL. That's the highest out of every rookie. Think about that. Highest pass rating of any rookie, and he has the basically taking the 6th shortest time to throw.
I mean, we're not surprised, no reason to be honest. Well, I mean, we've been saying this from day one. We talked about obviously, the crazy statistics he put up at Alabama. But we talked about, and when you break down Tua's stats at his career at Alabama, I mean, I don't think people realize. See, generally when you see quarterbacks with like inflated completion percentage,
garbage
generally
time.
Now, right?
Yeah,
they're
Stafford, baby. Matt
generally
Stafford made a living off that.
But generally seem to be a little more conservative. You know what I mean? But Tua, what impressed me the most, one of the things that impressed me the most with Tua at Alabama is that he put up those type of numbers, but how aggressive he is, pushing the ball downfield, fitting the ball in tight windows. That is one of the things that impressed me the most about him. You know what I mean? And you're just seeing it. The game is slowing down for him. When we talked about this in training camp, that his natural ability, obviously his physical tools, but the mental aspect of the game, everything will slow down to him. You see his natural gifts start to take over. And look at the statistics. You're starting to see that on a week-to-week basis now. So I'm not surprised to see that, bro. You know what I mean? It's just a confirmation of a lot of what we saw on tape while he was at Alabama.
No, I agree, man. And I mean, you look at this kid, bro, and you talk about his ability, what you saw in Alabama to now about him pushing the ball down the field. He's still showing that moxie too, where you look at that throw through Kenneth Murray, he's not afraid to still challenge tight windows too. And when I knew the comfort was really setting in for him, what was the one thing I told you that no one knocked him for, which I told you could be the only flag you could probably highlight on Tua? You remember this? I remember I told you I wouldn't tell anyone what it was way back because no one was using it. Remember when I talked about how no one was talking enough about how he didn't have enough drives in the fourth quarter. You know, you never saw what he could do in the fourth quarter.
Right,
Really, right? You never really did
right,
unless the national championship. And then you other than that, they weren't really a fourth quarter team, Alabama, right? With Tua.
right,
Anyways,
right.
when he led that game-winning drive last week, just to get because he knew just a field goal was enough. That's when I was like, this kid's arrived, man. You know what
Oh
I
yeah.
mean? That was one of the questions that I hadn't seen a lot of, and the guy answers it in his second game against Kyler Murray, who's playing lights out. So
Yeah, again, just confirmation of what we all envisioned him to be. The player we saw at Alabama, and again, man, he's just his natural ability is just starting to take over, and that bodes well for us as Dolphin fans because he once he gets, this kid, it just feels, it's so encouraging that we have a talent like this at that position. I know we've said that in the past consistently, but man, to have him here and to see him develop and blossoming right before our eyes, like a lot of players we have on this roster.
beautiful,
I'm telling it, bro, it's just so encouraging, reason. It's just, it's like, man, you can't put into words, bro.
And I agree with Chad McKean here. I feel like by the time we play the Chiefs, we'll be able to go blow for blow with Mahomes.
I'm telling you, I already said that. I'm already on the record. They're saying we will upset the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm telling you now. Telling you right now, bro. We are built the right way. We are built, not number one, if you go back to the AFC, the previous years, the AFC Championship game in Kansas City 3 years ago, who was the defensive coordinator in that game that gave Patrick Mahomes all he wanted and then some? That would be Brian Flores.
The same one who just killed Goff and them with the same game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I just think we're built to match up well with them. Now, obviously Kansas City is a different animal for sure, but I just think we have, especially in the front seven, their offensive line. I think that's a big advantage for us. Our defensive line matched up with their offensive line. They're nowhere near the, Patrick Mahomes has been under arrest a lot more than he has compared to early on in his career, his first 2 years. And I think we can expose a lot of the deficiencies up front. I don't even think they can even run the football on us consistently. So with that being said, you take always the approach is to render teams one-dimensional, and even how great Patrick Mahomes is, and he can beat you just by dropping back and throwing the ball 35, 40 times. Obviously, he's big, he's put that on tape consistently since he's been in the league. But I firmly believe we have the best secondary in the entire NFL. And how diverse, again, Brian Flores and Josh Boyer have been in terms of, personnel groupings, disguises, you know what I mean? So, and also the heavy deployment of man coverage, and no quarterback, if you have quarterback, I'll say this again, if you have quarterbacks that can cover, no quarterbacks they do not like to see tight man coverage. They just don't. So with that being said, man, I just think we're built the right way to give them all they want and then some. But it's going to be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to it, bro.
Yeah, we're going to continue to need to clean up against the run game because Clyde Edwards-Helaire is no joke ever since Le'Veon Bell arrived. So we got to keep trending upwards against the run, that's for sure.
Raekwon is coming. Raekwon is coming.
Speaking of, let's hop right into it. Guys, Raekwon Davis. Believe it or not, Raekwon, the man who, when we started showing these PFF grades, was all the way near the bottom in the 50s. When you look at Raekwon, he was tied for the number one highest graded Dolphin player this week with Xavier Howard. Both came out with an 89.6. Raekwon had a 90.8 in the run game. Unbelievable.
I'm glad to see that because, we said this on the stream yesterday. We highlighted how Raekwon was just, consistently resetting the line of scrimmage yesterday. A lot of hidden stats. He was taking on double teams consistently, and again, he's another player, just like Tua, he's just consistently getting better on a week-to-week basis. And man, if he can be that anchor, if he can be that true anchor for us in the middle, this defense, I mean, it'll go to another level.
Yeah. And then the man who signed the extension today, Zach Seiler, was the third highest graded defender with a 74.2. Look at our boy Landon Roberts. They continue to crap on him. They give a 59.5,
Yeah, man.
but at the same time, he gets a 91.2 run defense grade. They just killed him with the coverage grade. Emmanuel Ogba, they didn't go too high, but guys, there's your defensive. Like Andrew Van Ginkel. How do you only give him a 66.6? Andrew Van Ginkel was everywhere
He
yesterday.
was.
Like,
That's not a terrible grade, though. That's not a terrible.
yeah, but
That's
he
kind
was
of
one of our.
average.
Come on, bro. He was a top 5, top.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
There's no
I agree.
questions asked for me on that one.
He's
So
another player. Van Ginkel's another one blossoming
yeah,
right before our eyes, bro.
again, we
Seeing him
called.
grow up.
We called.
Mm-hmm.
Us
Absolutely.
ball game was on him originally, and we were right there with them. So
Yeah. Yeah.
all right, so let's look at the offense, guys, because there are some interesting stuff. When you look at the offense, guys, your highest graded offensive player was Jakeem Grant with a 78.1. Adam Shaheen was number 2 at a 76.2. Durham Smythe, number 3 with a 75.6. Eric Flowers with a 70.7 was number 4. And number 5 was Austin Jackson with a 66.2. And then you look all the way at the bottom, there's Ted Karras. I mean, now you know we all saw it. We didn't need a grade to see how bad that was. They give Chris Myrick. He only had 5 snaps. I don't even look at these. If it's under 10 snaps, I don't even look at it. So you look at Tua though. Tua had a 60 overall grade, 61.1 grade. Salvin Ahmed only finished with a 65.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I guess they really knocked him for the pass blocking. So,
I tell you, I got to be honest though. It's kind of weird seeing Jakeem Grant as the highest graded player.
I know,
I gotta admit, but hey, it's a pleasantly surprised. But
just
Jakeem,
I just wanted to show for people wondering, because I know they're going to wonder, guys. Just for your eyes before EM goes off here, just I believe this is it. Is this it? Yeah. So just for your guys' eyes, because I'm sure you're curious, Kalen Ballage finished with 74.4 overall grade, but the quarterback matchup, Justin Herbert, you got to go all the way down here. Finished with a 51.4. Their 17th lowest graded guy out of 19 total. He had a 50.4 pass grade. So Justin Herbert lost the PFF battle against Tua, if that means anyone. So I know some people are probably curious. So just for your eyes, sorry, the floor is yours.
Oh man, but yeah, it's kind of surprising to see Jakeem Grant, but Jakeem Grant is another player, man. It's like he's just gotten better as well. He seems to be, understanding, what he's supposed to do on a snap by snap basis. Because in previous years he's looked at times like he just didn't know where he should be and when he should be there. But he seems to be on point in terms of, obviously the more they've implemented him more. That tells me that he's, in terms of the playbook, he seems to be more up to speed. So, and also, his head, he seems to be becoming more reliable, a reliable target. And Tua seems to be looking for him. You know what I mean? At times, and we never saw that.
The confidence is oozing over into his play.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, he's we never saw that with Fitz or Ryan Tannehill.
Yep, love it.
So.
And
yeah,
I was telling people, because people were always asking our comments, why aren't they getting rid of Jakeem Grant? I said they're probably waiting because of the chemistry he had with Tua. We highlighted multiple times that Fitz didn't like him because of his height, but I kept telling people he fits the parameters of an Alabama receiver.
He does.
And here you go.
He does. And there's upside there with Jakeem as well, bro. With Tua at the helm, There's definitely upside, and I just think um, I think it's a good contrast between when you have him, on the field opposite Devontae Parker. You know what I mean? And we've talked about Jakeem Grant. One ability that he does have that can't be denied is his speed. And obviously in the NFL, we all know that speed dictates coverage. So I think when you have him, especially when they're in their base formations, like an I formation or a strong formation, when it's just two wide receivers on the field, it's good to have that speed element and not have a player with the exact same athletic profile as the tight end and the other receiver on the other opposite boundary. So I think that's an added dimension that teams have to prepare for, because obviously you have to account for that guy's speed. You blink and he's going right by you. So I like that kind of contrast in our more in our base formations, just to have that vertical element to kind of loosen the coverage up for Mike Gesicki as well as Devontae Parker. So, and also to keep that, it'll benefit the run game as well, because you're keeping that eighth man out of the box. You got to keep, when Jakeem Grant is on the field, you got to keep two safeties high. You have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're just asking for trouble if you don't.
That's why if we add a Waddle, imagine now you got two guys that you're like, what do you do with that speed? Guys, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't. There's 182 of you in the room. If you'd like to donate to the channel, paypal.me/Finside. Become a Finside the NFL Patreon, patreon.com/Finside the NFL. If you want to go to patchvibes.com, they've got that new GTA Miami Dolphins logo design. They've also got a bunch of other crazy patches. Go check them out. Patchvibes.com. Use code Finside for 20% off. And guys, grab official Finside the NFL merch. Teespring.com/stores/Finside the NFL. 5 different designs. And guess what, guys? I'm wearing one. Black on gold, baby.
Absolutely fire.
Time it is, baby. So
absolutely fire.
Go support the channel. I'm not even lying to y'all. My mom came over tonight to see my child. I guess my wife, I was downstairs playing that Call of Beauty, and my wife, I guess, showed her the sweater. My mom tried it on, and she's ordering one because it's so comfortable. So, like, it's ridiculous. So, guys, go check it out. There is the link below. Go support the channel. Go rep the Finside fam, while also showing your affiliation with the Miami Dolphins fandom, right? So,
quick question before we get into something else.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you in regards to Jakeem Grant. If Jakeem Grant continues on this upward trajectory, what does that say for Mr. Williams in terms of his starting spot?
I already dealt with this. We don't need two guys at the same profile. We only need one Devontae Parker. I already said, you need Devontae, and then everyone else is speed.
That's going to be interesting to pay pay attention to moving forward, because I'm sure we'll be addressing that at some point.
Let me say this. You move off. I'm just saying. You do whatever you got to do with Preston, whether it's knock him down the pecking order or move off of him. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You keep Devontae. You bring Wilson back. You have Jakeem Grant, and you draft a Jalen Waddle. All of a sudden, you got 3 speed guys in Devontae Parker. Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do against that defense? Against that offense, man? We'll kill you. So it's the new It's the new Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Yep.
Except with a far more accurate quarterback. He might not have the bazooka that Mahomes has, but he's more accurate than Mahomes is.
I would agree with that.
So, I mean, I'm not hating. I'm just saying, like, it looks like the offense is that's why you're seeing. Do you think it's a coincidence that we're going horizontal? And I've been saying the whole time that you need guys with speed that are dynamic when the ball's in their hands and that can separate. And now you see a guy like Jakeem Grant's the one flourishing the most. I don't think it's a coincidence, man. I really don't. Like, you know why Hollins is because he's got chemistry, but he's also built like a tight end, but he's got hands like a receiver. And Hollins keeps going the way he's going. Tua's going to trust him more than a guy like Mike Gesicki. Just saying. Same thing with Malcolm Perry. Look at who's the other guy he targets. Malcolm Perry. Why? He's not the fastest guy, but he's the quickest guy in that core.
He can get separation immediately. He can separate.
Yeah.
Immediately off the line of scrimmage. So.
What a coincidence, man. I'm telling you right now. So, I just wanted to go over this quickly. We go EM so far in 3 starts, we only have 15 allowed pressures, and we only allowed 6 against the Chargers this weekend. If you remember, against the Rams, we allowed 4, 3 of them from Aaron Donald. But you look, we allowed 6 pressures, 2 of them from Jesse Davis, but no hurries, no sacks, no hits. Salvin Ahmed allowed 1. Ted Karras allowed 1. I can't believe they only had 1. Austin Jackson allowed 2. But you look at this pretty clean pocket, man. Yeah, some pressures, but nothing our quarterback can't handle. So pretty good showing in terms of pressure-wise from our offensive line, EM.
Oh, yeah. Just, another good game. Another solid game, that they had Sunday. Yeah, I thought that, there was some leakage, but, obviously some things to clean up. But, I think they played, for the most part, overall, I think they played well. And obviously in the run game, that was our most productive game this year in terms of the run game. I thought they did a very good job of, resetting the line of scrimmage. I thought players got, in particular, Eric Flowers was good at the point, and also getting to the second level, identifying linebackers and creating a lot of those gaping holes we saw Sunday. So overall, man, I thought they played well. Just like any game, no game is going to be perfect. They just need to continue improvement, continue the consistent, getting better at communication, all the other fundamentals up front, and man, they seem to be on an upward trajectory as well.
All right, so I got 3 things I want to roll through here. Comments. 1 from Vladimir Hurst. So what happens when Myles Gaskin returns? Does Ahmed return to nothing? No, I think it's going to be. I think Ahmed's going to have another performance this week, and I think it's going to be a legit committee between him, Braden, Gaskin. Whoever has the hot hand, they run with it. And if you have the hot hand for multiple games, they probably run with you. Damian D says, I'd rather have Pitts as my tight end. So would I, brother, but I'm not spending first-round capital on a tight end when we got other more pressing needs. And then here's the one. Fortune Teller says, sorry if you addressed this already, but would love to know your thoughts. You've been saying you want Sewell, which so do I, but if we do get him, who does Hunt replace at guard? I like Flowers at Kinley. So I'm going to let EM give his thoughts, but I'll give mine real quick, real fast, because it's a simple question for me. Eric Flowers. Kinley goes to left guard. Hunt gets kicked into right guard. Those are our future guards. Me and EM actually talked about that privately today. We both, me and EM, agree we'd want a bit more of an athletic guy in there, but c'est la vie for right now. My thing is you can get out of Flowers' contract, I think, after next year or something like that, or after the season. It's either after the season or after next season. That he's not worth $10.5 million, guys. Like, he is not worth $10.5 million. Has he been okay? Sure. Has he been, pretty good at times? Sure. Has he been consistently good? No, not by any stretch of the man. $10.5 million, you got to be consistently good if you're a guard right now. So, that's my idea. You go, like I'm telling you guys, think about this right now. You have Austin Jackson. You kick Kinley to left guard. You draft or bring in Karras' replacement at center through free agency. You have Robert Hunt at right guard, and you have Penei Sewell at right tackle. Guys, we have the best. We have, like EM said to me privately, we have a better offensive line than what the Cowboys just had in their prime. So I'll let EM give his thoughts on that situation. If you do draft a guy like Penei Sewell, who's the odd man out of guard, what do you do, etc.?
I mean, I would have to agree with that. I mean, just from a financial standpoint, the money you would save.
You can use it on defense, bro. Continue to show
agree. Just from, just the financial ramifications, alone. I mean, I can't, I would have to agree with you, bro. I mean, Flowers has been he's been average, I would say. And, again, I'm with you. $10 million for average play. No, I think Solomon Kinley, you can kick him to left guard and he can give you the production of what you get from Eric Flowers.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would have to agree with you.
Guys, we got a little bit of time left here, about 35, 40 minutes. So we're dropping the link for y'all to hop on and come give your thoughts on and your final thoughts basically on yesterday's game. But Steve Delafay says, if Houston pick drops a bit, why wouldn't we take Pat Surtain?
Me personally, I'm not the biggest Pat Surtain fan.
Not a need either.
Yeah, it's not a need, and I think, to be honest, from a physical standpoint, I think Noah Benogany has way more upside than what Pat Surtain has. So,
yeah, I don't.
No,
I think he's going to be
I'm staying away from him.
I think it's going to be a top 15, top 20 pick, and we don't have the need to justify spending that kind of capital.
Right, I agree.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't. I like Patrick Surtain's all right, but I'm not ready to spend a top 10 pick on this guy. So,
no.
Jonathan Ayala asks, is Parsons the last piece to this defense?
Good question.
I don't think it is. I think if you get a nose tackle and you can kick Raekwon and Wilkins to outside that legitimate run stuffing nose tackle, then all of a sudden, that's, and that linebacker, that interior linebacker would be the final piece. Because me and EM had this conversation privately, guys, and I've told all y'all this on stream. If you listen to what EM said about Kyle Van Noy, remember he told y'all you got to work him inside out, not outside in. Okay. Here's the thing. Right now, Parsons in year one, he's working outside in. He's in year one, he'll give you a more elite version of Jerome Baker. That's what he'll give you in year one. In year two and into year three is when you start using him outside in more. Guys, he's not a true interior linebacker right now. That's a Dylan Moses, a Nick Parsons, a Chaz Surratt. Mike Parsons has all the athleticism and all the instinctual the instinctual ability and all the talent in the world to be a very impactful interior linebacker. But right now, he is not there yet. But the reason why you invested is because when he is there, and he's going to be a transcendent guy. So I'll let you
agree. I mean, I would agree. I would say this though, in regards to the defensive line, if Raekwon Davis continues to to improve the way that he has, I mean, he's clearly shown the last, I would say, 3 weeks that he can be consistent at maintaining that zero technique position. And again, you just re-upped Seiler. He's here for the foreseeable future. So if Raekwon can hold up in the middle and be that true anchor, I would say, yeah, a true Mike is the last piece to this defense. I would have to agree with that. And then especially if Benito Jones, if his development starts to accelerate, there's no need to make that kind of investment. Now, I've been on record saying that I think I would rather get a 345 plus pound guy in the middle, and then you kick Raekwon to 1-3 tech, and you have Christian Wilkins as the other as your starters, because I think Raekwon has untapped potential as a pass rusher. And if you deploy primarily at the zero technique, it's difficult to consistently defeat two blocks like that on a snap by snap basis. So generally, you want a guy at that position just eat up that A gap and occupy blocks. But generally those guys are just big. They're just big, strong guys, with very minimal pass rush ability. But Raekwon, I think, has untapped. We haven't even seen his potential as a pass rusher yet. So, but he's proven that he's also another player on an upward trajectory, and he's proven he can be stout at the point and hold that point in the middle of this base 34, and so it's what it is. But yeah, we need a true Mike though more than anything at this point, since we've seen the improvement of Raekwon Davis, I would say.
Damien, what's good, homie?
What's good, y'all? What's good? Fans up,
Damien, what's
fans
good,
up.
man?
What's good, man?
Hey, how you
Great
doing tonight,
stream.
brother?
I'm all good, man. Playing a little Madden, watching a little football, watching a little wrestling. Not much. Listen to this great stream.
I hear
You
you,
know,
man.
thinking about running backs, man. The draft, man. That's what I'm focusing on right now.
Mm,
Because I think with us implementing the RPO, that's something big. I like Ahmad and I love Gaskins. I just want us to have that thumper to go with it. So that's what I'm just thinking about right now.
Could have used Howard at running at fullback.
Jordan Howard, man.
mm.
Jordan Howard, man. Because I'm thinking about if Najee isn't there. If Najee isn't there, I got a couple of backs that I like, but their size is probably the same as like Gaskins, maybe a little bit bigger. So that's my main concern.
Give me some names.
Well, of course, I'm high on C.J. Verdell from Oregon. I'm high on
Oregon,
that kid.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm high
yeah.
on that kid.
Everyone. That's why when everyone last year, when everyone's like, "Oh, Herbert's got no weapons," a third of the offense goes to C.J. Verdell on screens. I'm like, "What are you
Yeah,
talking
man.
about? He's got no offense."
Yeah,
Same
dude
with
can run through the tackles and catch, man.
I
Dude.
like Kenneth Gainwell too, but
Oh yeah,
I get your size concern or whatever.
Gainwell's nice, man. I like Gainwell. I just want us to have that back, that complimentary back. If we don't get Najee Harris.
The Dolphins, that free agency draft class next year in terms of running backs is gonna be deep, bro.
Oh, it is.
You know what I mean? Yeah, this in 2021. So the Dolphins, they'll have options as well as the draft and free agency if they opt to go that route.
Hmm. I
So
wouldn't. I wouldn't mind of us getting Chuba Hubbard either. That's the. I'm just worried
Oklahoma
about the.
State.
Yeah, I'm just worried about the amount
mhm,
of carries he's already accumulated in college.
mm.
He's accumulated a large amount of carries, which that kind of concerns me just a bit. Like with Murray and Barber and Maroney coming out of Minnesota, even though they split carries, their offense was like 90% run base, so they ate up a lot of
I'm
carries.
just saying,
Hmm.
what if they screw us all and they make their move for their slot guy and it's Juju Smith Schuster and that's where they spend their big free agency money on.
I would not be mad at all.
I
I
would.
would I would not be mad at all. Like I wouldn't be.
Yeah, he's a
Just
top 5 slot guy in the NFL.
yeah, we just have to draft a running back. I mean, we all agree with that. We have to draft a running back. What do you feel about? I know how Rowe, is looking, but he's getting a little older, man. What about drafting a safety?
Well, you already know there's safeties I like, brother.
Yeah,
You already know I like Javon Holland.
yeah,
I'm
we're
I'm
in the
seeing the
same place.
possibility of
Holland,
him.
Cisco.
I like Caden Smith. I'm seeing
Yeah.
the possibility of him. I like Nazar Ladine from Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing Javon Holland potentially dropping to the second round.
Mm,
Really?
And if that
mm,
happens, that's very, very interesting because that's a guy who can play free safety, he can play single high, he can play rover, he can go play too high, like he can play on the boundary, he can
Mm-hmm.
play in the
mhm,
slot. Like you saw even you were like, oh, whoa, he plays the boundary too. Like he can
mhm,
play everywhere, but he's built like a safety.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
He's Jamal Adams, bro. I'm telling you right now, he's Jamal Adams. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say he's gonna be as good. I'm just talking about like in terms of the versatility at the position,
And he
like
has potential. He
Jamal
has the
Adams.
potential to be that type of
Mhm.
player.
Yeah, he's sneaky fast too because he's been used as a returner too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's sneaky fast. He's very athletic. I think his athleticism is underrated too. So,
Mhm.
Todd, how you doing?
Hey man, how's it
What up,
going?
Todd?
What's
I
going on,
came
Todd?
in I came in like excited to do a test for work.
Mhm.
Okay.
Was did you all bring up what Tua said about how he thought it would be harder about being in the NFL?
Yeah, we
Mhm.
brought it up about how it's because when he was playing the scout team, You know, you got to take into context of the defense he was playing when he was running the scout team, how Flores comes from the Belichick tree, and all these other defensive coaches who have had great quarterbacks. They give them harder tests usually than what you see on Sunday. Add in the fact Flores sits in every Tuesday with them on one-on-one film sessions, and that's why he thinks it's easier, because the team and the personnel and the staff have prepared him. Like Herbert hasn't seen a defense like this, or Burrow haven't seen a defense or a defensive mind in terms of the coaching staff. They haven't seen the personnel of the coaching staff when it comes to our defense, like 6 days a week, like EM said. You know, that's the difference.
Yep.
That's why he thinks it's easy. People were trying to jump on Tua, and we're trying to sit here and say, no. You got to understand why he's saying that. He's saying it because, and here's another thing, Todd, we pointed out. People should get excited about that. Don't chastise the kid. You know what that tells you? The game's slowing down for him.
Exactly.
And that's already game 3, man. Like I told you. Remember I told y'all after game 2, Todd, what did I say? Remember I said, everyone's here wilding out about game 2. What did I say on stream? I can't wait till game 2 of year 2 if this kid's showing us this right now.
Oh, I agree completely. I was happy about it, but what was brought to the attention on ESPN that caught me was Brady used to be 50% at practice, 50% completion percentage on a lot of days at practice.
I just want
ran him.
Curtis, I like Morig and I like Adarius Washington, both the safeties from TCU, but I like Holland better. Yeah, Todd, I just, you know, what's crazy about
defense that did that.
What did what?
That was knocking Brady down to 50% towards the end when Flores was running the deep down there. So, you know, he's going to do the same thing to Tua. He doesn't play favorites. He's going to run him hard.
Well, he's taking the same cultural approach that Belichick did with his quarterback. He saw, what did he saw? He saw, you know, a little pressure can turn a coal into a diamond with Tom Brady. Yep. Now you've got a kid who I think we can all agree was more talented and was further ahead intangible wise and mentally with the position than what Tom Brady was coming out of Michigan. Because you know what the thing is too? Saban did the exact same thing that Flores is doing. What do you think Saban was doing when Tua was in Alabama? He was seeing one of the best defenses in the SEC day in and day out, and Saban was sitting down with him, and Saban said, I was sitting down with him, breaking down film with him too. Like, yo, Saban, here's the thing. And that's what did we in EM tell you guys all the way about like last October, last November. Not only did we love his arm talent and all the on-field stuff, we talked and how much he galvanized. Remember we talked about how much he galvanized all the players around him. But we also talked about, what did we call him, Todd? I think I coined the phrase when I said this. I said, well, towards Tua, not the phrase, but towards Tua, I coined this. What did I say, EM? Remember I called him a student of the game all the way over a year ago. And when you got a student of the game who's got those kind of teachers around him and he can soak it all in like a sponge, that is a very, very scary outlook for the AFC East and the NFL.
You get those elite players. You get Tom Brady. You get Peyton Mannings. You get, you know, Joe Montana's, Dan Marino's. That's what you get. And it's just confirmation of
Brady's rookie year. His rookie year, he had 18 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
Yeah, but it's not just. Yeah, but we covered this too, Todd, because I know you came in late. Look at Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady. They came on, and when they were like, Russell Wilson was not the MVP player you're seeing right now when he originally came in and won Super Bowls. Tom Brady was not the guy you saw breaking records with Randy Moss when he came in. Ben Roethlisberger was not the guy you see now who's making wide receivers, turning Pittsburgh into a wide receiver factory. He wasn't the same guy yet. They leaned on good defenses and establishing the run, and they said, don't turn the ball over and just do what we ask you to do. Don't do any more. Don't do any less. And that's the exact approach they're taking with Tua. And you know what it does, Todd, what happened when the Legion of Boom left, when Troy Polamalu left, when the Patriots had to reshift and redesign their defense? Those three quarterbacks had already been shown how to win in the playoffs. And like I said earlier, when you know how to win in the playoffs, the regular season is a breeze. So they already knew how to win in the playoffs. So when those defenses left and had to be redesigned and rebuilt, they could now carry the load of the team. And that's why you're seeing Russell Wilson is now an MVP, because he was groomed and developed in a winning culture and properly. Just no one thought we would turn into a winning culture potentially this quickly, because we just finished picking number 5 with our pick, not Houston's pick. And now, if you look at our pick and Houston's pick, they've literally flip-flopped this year. Now we're in the 20s and Houston's in the top 5.
Yep.
And also those quarterbacks you mentioned, Reason.
I love myself. I hold myself. I talk to myself in the morning.
Bro. Then I don't tell you how tired I am right now. But, look. Those quarterbacks you mentioned, all defensive-minded coaches.
Yep.
Peyton Manning didn't win until Tony Dungy became his coach. One of the better defensive coaches we ever seen. Bill Belichick and Bill Cowher, in addition to Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
All defensive-minded coaches. That's why I think, because again, you have great defensive minds like that. Again, they're giving your quarterback all of the answers to the test that he's going to face on Sunday. So
and then EM, and then you know what you do, and then EM. All you got to do as a coach is worry about preparing your defense, because the quarterback's going to take care of your offense.
Mm-hmm.
Your coordinator and your quarterback got it. That's prepared.
Right.
Now all you got to do is focus on that defensive game plan. And especially when they get into year 4, year 5, and they reach that start getting on that cusp of being a veteran, that's when you can even lean on. And it really doesn't matter. I mean, you saw they brought Josh McDaniels back, but like they kept it moving without McDaniels. You know what I mean? Because Brady knew what had to be done, knew the offense like the back of his hand, and that's exactly what Tua's going to be, man, because of up here.
I agree.
Bro, I'm excited, bro.
Oh, I'm bro.
You already hear him in an interview.
We've been waiting for this a long time, y'all.
Oh my God.
I know, bro. I know.
You already hear it in the interview when he says, me and Gailey go over, why do you want these plays called? Why is this? You hear him already preparing to be able to run everything on his own.
Yeah, Tua, I think Tua's always been, from what I understand, like with Dilfer said it, Saban said it, Kiffin said it, Sarkisian said it, like he's pretty much the epitome of, you remember how people always tell you at a new job, no question is a bad question, don't be afraid to ask questions. Tua is legitimately that, and it's because he just has that desire to know when he wants to pick brains. So that's just in his, again, what do we taught? When you're a student of the game, that's what you do, man. Right? You're always trying to learn every day and get better every day.
We lucked out that he lasted a number 5.
Well, that injury was a blessing in disguise.
I was getting ready to say the exact same thing, Damian. The Lord works in mysterious ways sometimes.
Amen, my brother.
EM. How many talks did I say to you, EM, privately, where me and EM would just be talking?
You did.
Out of nowhere, I'd say to EM, I'd be like, yo, doesn't this just feel like destiny, man? Like he wanted to be here. We all wanted, the majority of us wanted him. You know, I just got a feeling, like, knock on wood, that he got injured so he could land here, and now we're gonna have a career that he just flourishes, man. I kept telling all of y'all, all the people kept pushing back on every other platform. I kept saying to y'all, they said Frank Gore was injury prone because he had multiple knee injuries, and he went on and had a pretty much, you know, he had injuries, but nothing serious, and had a Hall of Fame career without a Super Bowl. You go look at what's his face from Mosley. Mosley had the same exact hip injury at Alabama, of all places, came back from it, had a Hall of Fame career, and just now he's starting to put up with groin issues, but he's in a way higher contact position. Like, you know what I mean? So This is what I'm saying. People were freaking out as long as you keep the pocket clean. Here's another thing, guys. Y'all know it. There were multiple. There's a lot of seasons where Brady had under 15 sacks. And he's not as slippery and as slick as Tua. It's because, like I keep saying, you build an elite offensive line in your scheme with an elite quarterback, and they can make jabronis look like legitimate NFL players on Sundays.
Yeah.
Tom Brady made a career off of it. And the times he did have legitimate talent, y'all saw the records.
Right. I agree.
Just saying.
Also their ability, their to see the field so fast and then getting the ball out of their hands. That'll make any offensive lineman look, better than what they actually are. And Tua has that skill set as well.
Scary. You know what should be scary for the AFC? Next year, if we can land a defensive tackle and a tackle.
You're breaking up, Todd. You're breaking up, Todd.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Never mind. That's not better at all. Todd, it's terrible.
Yes, man.
You got that Josh Rosen Wi-Fi or you got that Josh Rosen.
God. That damn Josh Rosen, I'll tell you.
In Jacksonville, not too far away from Tampa, just a couple hours. You got that Josh Rosen network going on. That Rosen G network. Anyways, I guess Todd's trying to find a location. I can see him hanging his hand out the window right now with the phone trying to
Hey guys.
Nah, bro, it's not any better. A for effort, though.
Damn, that's harsh. The Josh Rosen Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
man. Hopefully,
you got that. You got that Josh Rosen plan from Verizon.
I prefer my Wi-Fi to work well under pressure.
Yeah,
but, I'm just saying.
What's good, homie? What's good?
Oh,
man?
I'm chilling, bro. How you doing today?
Good, bro.
It's good to see y'all, man. I was able today to give Jordan Howard the send-off he deserved. I made sure to give him front seat privilege in front of the Greyhound bus on the way out of town.
Oh my God! I almost busted a gut when I saw that, bro.
Oh my
damn,
bro!
But you know something? Yeah, shit. I just don't know what took him so long.
Bro, they probably had to get more ink for the Epson, you know what I'm saying? Because that thing was working with Seiler getting the extension and Jordan Howard getting the Greyhound. Man, that Epson was working hard today, bro. But, I mean, it very, very rarely, I think amongst fans of a specific team, very rarely does a team make two moves that generally everybody loves in one day. And today was that day. I was like, man, they're like, it's almost like they're mind readers, like extending Zach Seiler before he hits the market, kind of locking him in at the very least to be a depth piece. But he's playing well right now as a rotational interior lineman, even on the outside a little bit. And then you get Jordan Howard out of town, man. So it's all aces. And then and even the best part, Jordan Howard and Kalen Ballard left town on the same bus. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a good day, bro. It's a good day.
Yeah, man.
Loved. We talked about Seiler earlier. Me and Reason, we've been high on this kid since day one. I mean, we talked about this earlier about when we signed him off the Ravens practice squad last year, bro. We immediately were texting, and he seems like he's just. I look at him. He looks to be a foundational player, and he fits exactly what we want to do in terms of skill set. Ideal three technique player that excels at two gap principles, and ideal win-win. I'm anxious to see what the details are, his contract are, but
Yeah.
Let's
That's
see. Did I
definitely
get it this time?
a high value pick. What's that, Todd?
Did I fix it this time? I reset my phone.
Yeah, you sound better, bro.
Cool. No, I was saying if we get a zero tech and a middle linebacker, our defense will be top 2 next year.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be ideal. I mean, for me, I look at this team and I know as much as it's great that we're cresting right now on the playoff hunt. Um, I mean, that's really on the back, particularly on the defensive side. That's on the back of the pass rush and the secondary. I mean, we clearly, in my opinion, I feel we have the best secondary in the league. But if you want to say top 3, I'll give you top 3. And you add, the constant pressure, particularly just the pressure from everywhere. I mean, it's great because we have not been particularly stout against the run this season, but we haven't really needed to be super stout against the run, particularly when you have guys like Justin Herbert out here looking like Chad Henne checking down at every turn. So, as if we can once again kind of reinvest in the trenches. You talk about going to Sewell. You talking about investing in a guy maybe like Dylan Moses, investing in a guy maybe like Tyler Shelvin. Really shore up the trenches, man. It's already nasty. It's only gonna get nastier. We are ahead of schedule right now.
Well, Moses is a linebacker, so.
Well, I mean, just the interior of the defense in general, particularly when it comes to stopping the run.
I would agree.
What'd you say?
They're saying Moses is actually dropping right now because of his injury history.
I didn't hear that.
Moses is going to be. I don't know what you're talking about, Todd. Moses is going to be a top 20 pick, bro.
Yeah, he's going to be the second linebacker chosen.
Yeah, man. The guy would have been the first linebacker off the board last year, and he would have went way higher than Patrick Queen did.
Yeah,
he's gonna be a top 20 pick for sure. Yeah. All right. EM. We got about 8 minutes left. 7 minutes left. Let me know if there's anything you want to talk about before we get out of here.
No, not really, bro. We covered everything. I mean, we're gonna have our pregame show with at some point this week. So no, I think we pretty much covered. It's a wrap on Sunday, as far as I'm concerned.
Spoiler alert, huh? And then I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back tomorrow night, and I'm gonna be with Ball Game, and I haven't confirmed with EM yet, but Tuesday on Finside the NFL.
Tuesday.
I'll be breaking every drop back of Tua Tagovailoa tomorrow. From an all 22 perspective, been doing it weekly. We're gonna keep it rolling. Again, that all 22 didn't even come out till about like 8 o'clock tonight. So, good call on moving it to Tuesdays permanently from now on. That'll be our Tuesday show while the season's rolling through, guys.
Tuesday.
Pyro, what's good, homie?
What's good, everybody?
What's going on, Pyro?
Yo, Wick, ask your question. Sorry, Wick, ask your question. Go ahead. Go ahead, Pyro.
Oh. Now, I was trying to say is that sounds like somebody's playing with their PlayStation 5 controller.
I've had enough of the PlayStation 5 conversation. I got guys like EM sending me voice messages telling me how good the graphics are.
The controller sounds
really
responsive, man.
It's a beast, absolute beast.
I got to put my glasses on when I play PS4 now. The pixels don't even look right anymore. I'm highly upset.
I agree, my friend. I agree.
What do you plan on PS5 right now, EM?
Okay, hold on a sec. We're not going to get into a PS5 because I'm always starting to lose viewers here, okay, guys? This is like a Dolphins channel, not a gaming channel. So we'll just get into it. We'll start with final thoughts. Damien, start off with your final thoughts, brother.
Well, I'm happy. Well, I'm not going to say I'm happy Drew Lock isn't playing because I think we'll beat him with Drew Lock. But Brett Ripken, he's not his Uncle Mark Ripken, so I'm predicting it's going to be ugly. Start the Dolphins in every fantasy league. DraftKings and FanDuel. Start the defense.
Oh, so Locke ain't playing?
It doesn't look like he's battling an abdominal oblique injury right now. That's why they're saying he struggled so badly yesterday.
This is a reason. Trust me, if I have to go against the Dolphins defense, I'll have abdominal pains too.
All right, let's hear your final thoughts, Pyro, even though you just joined.
Well, I'm just glad that we're building something, for the future. It's not like a one way thing like what Gates was trying to do, trying to win now. And clearly it didn't work now, and it's not gonna work then. So I was just trying to see what's your guys' thoughts on. I think it was Skip. Skip was really bashing Tua about the whole this game was slowing down. Like it was easy for him.
We talked about this multiple times today.
Oh, I didn't know you guys was talking about it.
Yeah, we talked about it a few times already. Just that he said the game slowing down for he just thought he didn't think it would be this easy. But the context of it is you got to look at the defense that he's seeing day in, day out, the defensive mind that he's watching film with, all that kind of jazz, et cetera, et cetera. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, man. That really pissed me off how they were just bashing the kid. I was like, y'all. I'm saying, I'm pretty sure y'all taking it out of context, and I'm glad that that's what they just did, because this media is so quick to jump on anything, just for for some clicks and just to get some views, man.
Mm-hmm.
Legit, just ruining this guy, image, making him look like he's cocky. We know Tua's not like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my final thoughts.
All right, Todd, you got your phone working all properly, so let's hear what your final thoughts are.
No, I'm just looking forward to another blowout this weekend.
I feel like y'all are turning this into a trap game. Everyone's just like, "Oh, we're just overlooking."
That's why I'm not speaking.
Oh, we're gonna blow them out. Y'all are turning this into a trap game, man.
And Reese, that's why I had no comment on that game.
All right, let me rephrase that. The last game wasn't a blowout, but I never felt the game was at.
Okay, yeah, I
were
agree
being
with that.
challenged.
Yeah.
I want to have another game where you're comfortable throughout the game, knowing you having that feeling you're going to win the game. They're not even. They don't have a chance.
Yeah.
Even though it's not that. You got that last late-minute score. The pad that for his record for. But I'm looking forward to the defense playing solid, special teams, and the offense not turning it over.
This is a game where I can see Tua. You could see an increase in his, touchdowns, yardage. I mean, this could potentially be a big game.
Yeah, because the defense is bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say this, EM. We always talked about wanting to have a call-in show to make it feel like an audio podcast where people call in. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Todd for sounding like it's an actual authentic call-in show on the radio.
Yeah,
giving us that authentic FM feel on inside the NFL right now.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you, caller. Yeah. Pyro's working the board. Pyro's working the board. Right? All right.
Since Pyro didn't say it, let's root for New England against the Texans.
Oh, and look he said it like the PG way, like the nice way.
Yep.
All right.
I'm doing it quick.
Only on winning game day. That's when I say that.
That's not true at all.
I'm trying to make it.
No lying on my channel, brother.
Why'd you break down so quick, Pyro?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make it sound.
Bro, there's other Dolphins YouTube channels that condone lying. This isn't one of them, okay? Havoc. Let's hear your final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I had a word about not the most reliable information-wise Dolphins fans out here as well. But, as always, I appreciate the ability to come on, the opportunity to come on. A shout out to Australia, Western Australia, Perth City, Melbourne, Torquay, the whole Gold Coast, New Zealand. You all know the vibes, international vibes nowadays. Look, man, it's a good day. Dolphins are making common sense transactions. What more can you really expect? And just to back up the whole trap game theory, we just started winning games again, y'all. Like we literally just started winning games. So as great as it is that the team is performing well, man, keep that beginner's mindset. Like don't be like, oh, we gonna go out here and start blowing out people. We ain't New England yet. We bold in the dynasty, but we ain't there yet. But as always, it's Fins Up all day, every day.
Yes, sir.
And thank you, Pyro, for not jumping all over my shit as usual. I appreciate it.
Well, he was saying Sydney Gang behind you like an ad lib.
Because he didn't say it. I told Havoc you need to mention Sydney Gang, and he keeps forgetting. So I was just making sure you don't forget.
Thank you, Pyro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I'm looking out for you.
No, you're not.
All right, guys.
that PlayStation 5 you can get though.
I've had enough, Pyro. Thank you very much.
We're gonna be back tomorrow night, and we'll be doing a breakdown of every single Tua Tagovailoa drop down from an all 22 perspective. Ball game will be here. EM possibly will be here. Until then, we got still 189 of you in the room. Smash that like button, subscribe. If you're new here, we're on our way to 2K where we'll be doing a giveaway. If you'd like to donate to the channel, paypal.me/Finside. You can also use the super chat, and you can become a Finside the NFL Patreon, patreon.com/Finside the NFL. Patchvibes.com. Use code Finside for 20% off. They've got some new designs. Go check them out. And again, grab that official Finside the NFL merch that your boys rocking right now. Thing is comfy, cozy. Teespring.com/stores/Finside the NFL.
Man,
the gold looks fire on the black, y'all. So go peep it.
Hoodie looks clean, bro. Hoodie looks clean.
Go check it out, man. So until tomorrow, guys. We'll be back a little bit earlier tomorrow, too. It won't be a 10 p.m. start. It'll be earlier. So look for us around 9-ish, 9 Eastern. All right, guys? So until then, Fins Up all day, every day, and we'll see all of y'all.